Zeb again. I have a draft deck that I just finished. I am at Packrat Comics this week. They have $8 drafts, and I'm like, all right, I'll go. So when I got here, I didn't realize that it was going to be a chaos draft. So basically, this deck is way different than any deck I've actually have shown recently because it has a few cards from Return to Ravinca, a few cards from Gatecrash, or we have a few cards from Dragon's Maze, a couple of cards from M14. And then a couple of Theros cards, and I do believe I have a card from Return to the Gods in here somewhere. Anywho, I'm gonna just go over the deck really quickly here. So I have, for my 2 drops, I have Omen Speaker, an Explorer, an Eidolon, Vaporkin, and Doorkeeper. And then for my 3 drops, I have 3 Nimbus Naiads, a Bloodtor Harpy, Corpse Blockade, and Night Howler. For my 4 drops, I have a Syndicate Enforcer, a Ogre Jailbreaker, Ambrose Emissary, and Disciple of Phoenix. And then I don't have no 5 drops, so my 6 drop is a Nightmare, which for some reason, I'll get into that a little bit later. And then for my 7 drop, I do have a Marsh Mish Titan. And then as far as my non-creature spells, I have some removal here. Pretty sweet removal package. I have a Devour Flesh, a Stab Wound, Read the Bones for card draw and scrying, Quack Sickness, Asphyxiate. I have a Griptide, a Liliana Dark Realms, and a Launch Party. And then for mana, I have a Orzhov Cluestone to help me out a little bit with fixing and, ramping a little bit. I am running 5 islands, and then a Temple of Enlightenment for scrying. I also have a Rakdos Guild Gate, so I can tack in with the Ogre Jailbreaker if I need to. And I ran 9 swamps total. So some of the really good interactions with this particular deck is that since I'm running 9 swamps, Liliana the Dark Realms, she actually helps me get swamps. And I've actually used her neg-3 ability a few times. Over here because of the light. I used her neg-3 ability a few times, and her neg ability either gives a creature +X or plus neg-X, depending on how many swamps you control. So a few turns I actually swung in with Nightmare with like 6 or 7 swamps on the board. Then neg-3 to give Nightmare +X equal to the number of swamps, and swung out and won the game a couple times. Some other cards too that I had in here. I had Doorkeeper in the deck because I am running 3 different defenders in the deck. So these 3 are defenders, and it helps me mill in the late game. I didn't actually use the ability that much, but I had early defender to help me protect my creatures and protect damage while I set up my board. Omen Speaker is such a good card. Helping the scry in this deck is amazing. Night Howler is another good creature because with Night Howler and Ambrose Emissary, that combination right here, you can discard creature cards when it's bestowed. I also actually bestowed Night Howler on the Ambrose Emissary, so when I discard, it gets the +X for each creature in all graveyards, and then it gets the +2/+2 bonus for discarding a creature card. So it kind of helps, and they have that really good synergy. And then Syndicate Enforcer did help me late game with the Exhort trigger, so I can pay Exhort and it help me gain a little bit of life. And then with all the black cards I'm running, this creature is actually really good. And then late game, I can bestow it with a Nimbus Naiad or any other creature to give it flying and swing over. And then Corpse Blockade also gives me another sack outlet, so I can sack my creatures and help into a Night Howler, and to have my graveyard bigger so I can swing through. Launch Party is another good card. Griptide, Stab Wound helps with those those creatures that have a lot of toughness and they're not going to be swinging through and they're using it from blockers. But with Stab Wound, you can actually just Stab Wound. There was a couple of Stab Wounds going around, so I was also Stab Wound myself, and they lose 2 life each turn. Quack Sickness is pretty much spot on removal in this deck because I'm running 9 swamps, and so with the 9 swamps I'm running, you know, a creature can get up to neg 9 just for me having swamps in my deck. And of course with Liliana, the more swamps I get, you know, the more swamps I have, so the Packrat is more effective. I didn't actually ultimate Liliana. I didn't really see a need. I didn't have anything that sank a lot of mana into, or any X spells, which kind of sucked. But you know, Liliana in this type of deck is pretty sweet. And I opened Liliana. I was past Nightmare in pack 1, so that actually helped me. And then the blue splash is just for my blue cards and Griptide, which you only really need one island in this deck. You know, as far as drawing an island, you're good as far as colors. And I also had the Orzhov Cluestone to help me ramp a little bit. And then when I get the Temple of Enlightenment out, I can just crack the Cluestone and draw a card. So. And other than that, this deck actually got me. I was actually 4-1. We just finished the 5th round. I think there's at least one match going on, but I just finished my 5th round here, and I'm actually completed. I'm 4-1 with this particular deck. I didn't really think it was really good until I kept playing with it. And the more I played with it, I saw the interactions with these cards. So, Chaos Draft. This isn't the best Chaos Draft deck I ever built, but this is pretty good. It got me to 4-1. So, my only loss was a deck that was just really aggressive. It had a larger creature, so I couldn't block properly. So, other than that, that's pretty much what I just wanted to show you guys is this deck. So, until next time, this is Zeb signing off. You guys have a great Friday, and play on and all that jazz. So, one more quick overview. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, and a couple other things too. In the pool we opened, someone opened an Elspeth. And the person opened something else, and then someone opened the Xenagos Guard. Oh, the one person opened the Elspeth also opened Boros Reckoner, and I played against that guy. I ended up beating him in the last round. And then there was another guy who opened the Xenagos Guard. And I heard someone else here opened up a what's it called? Domni Raid, and a lot of bomb rares, a lot of bomby cards going around tonight. So and obviously my deck isn't really that good, but I do have a couple rares in here to make it really good. But I mean, you know, it is what it is. So I'm gonna unsleeve, wait for the results to kick in, and then, you know, go home, drive all the way back to the north side, and go to work tomorrow. So this is Zeb signing off for real this time. And you guys have a great night. And then next weekend is pre-release time. Woo! So see you guys there.